Maya had always believed in two things. Love was overrated, and money was security. Growing up the first child in a struggling household, she watched her parents fight every night, never about cheating, never about trust, but always about money. Bills. School fees. Rent. Everything was a war. So by the time Maya turned 25, she promised herself one thing. I will never end up broke like my parents. I will choose stability over love. And she kept that promise. Maya met Daniel at a networking event. He wasn't the most handsome man there. He wasn't the youngest. He wasn't the most charming. But he was stable, calm, soft-spoken, and wealthy. While other men tried impressing her with jokes or flirting, Daniel was different. He simply asked, "Are you happy in life?" That question threw her off. Because nobody had ever cared enough to ask. 2 months later, he proposed. 3 months after that, they were married. Everyone said she was lucky. Everyone thought she won. But on her wedding night, Maya whispered to herself, "This is not love, but it is security." Daniel treated her like a queen. Breakfast in bed. A driver. A personal studio for her art. Vacations whenever she wanted. A beautiful house with a garden she always dreamed of. He remembered her birthday, her mother's birthday, and even the day her childhood dog died. He smiled when she talked, listened when she cried, and held her whenever anxiety crept in. But Maya kept a wall up. She did everything a wife was supposed to do. Except give him her heart. He loved her deeply. She respected him. And she convinced herself that was enough. Until it wasn't. On their second anniversary, Maya went to a friend's party alone. That night, she met someone, Ryan. Handsome, smooth-talking, flashy. Everything Daniel wasn't. Ryan flirted with her openly, complimented her beauty, told her she was too fine for an old man like Daniel, and she laughed, even though it hurt. For the first time, Maya wondered. Did I settle too early? When she got home, Daniel was on the couch, waiting for her. Not angry. Not suspicious. Just tired. "You didn't pick your calls," he said quietly. "I just wanted to know you got home safe." That hit her harder than she expected. The man she married for convenience cared for her deeper than anyone ever did. Weeks passed. Maya grew distant, confused, guilty, and afraid. Daniel noticed. Of course he did. One night he asked, "Maya, are you happy with me?" She froze. Not because she was unhappy. But because she realized she didn't know how to handle a man who loved her with no conditions. She burst into tears. She didn't know why. Maybe because she felt unworthy of his kindness. Maybe because she finally realized. She was falling for him. Slowly. Quietly. Dangerously. But it was too late. One morning, Maya woke up and found Daniel packing a suitcase. Her heart dropped. Are you leaving me?" she asked, her voice trembling. Daniel sighed, not angry, just defeated. "I'm traveling for treatment," he said softly. "I didn't want to worry you." "Treatment? For what?" He avoided her eyes. "Maya. I've been sick for a while. I didn't tell you because I didn't want you to feel trapped with me." Her knees weakened. She married him for stability. He loved her without expectations. And she pushed him away, while he was silently fighting for his life. "When were you going to tell me?" she whispered. "When you loved me enough for it to matter," he replied gently. Her heart broke. Daniel spent months abroad receiving treatment. Maya visited often, more than he expected. She cooked for him. Read to him. Held his hand every night. Talked to him until he fell asleep. For the first time in her life, Maya felt love. Authentic, raw, terrifying, beautiful love. One evening, she whispered in his ear. Daniel. I love you. He smiled softly, tired, weak, but happy. I know, he said. I loved you from the start. But fate wasn't kind. 2 weeks later, he slipped into a coma. Maya stayed by his bedside every day, praying for a miracle, begging for one more chance to love him the way he deserved. But life doesn't wait for late love. Daniel never woke up. After his funeral, Maya found a letter in his study, her name written on the envelope. Hands shaking, she opened it. Maya. I knew you didn't marry me for love. But that never bothered me. I just wanted to give you a life better than the one you came from. If you ever fall in love with me, even for one day, then my life was worth living. Thank you for giving me more than one day. Tears blurred the words. He knew. He always knew. And he never blamed her. Years later, Maya kept his garden alive. She wore her wedding ring every day. She donated to hospitals and started a foundation in his name. Not because she felt guilty, but because she finally understood something she learned too late. Love isn't what you get from someone. It's what you give even when it hurts. And Daniel taught her that. Even after he was gone.